And welcome back, everyone, to Who Would Win. Today's Who Would Win, starting out the month fresh and anew, comes to us from it's Equalizer. I don't know if you do the XX Equalizer XX in the title. I guess that because that's how I saw the name written, but that's the name, XX Equalizer XX. And they asked the question: who would win in a fight, Ghostface or Jeff the Killer? So Jeff the Killer, I've done Jeff the Killer once or twice. Jeff the Killer is of the creepypasta lore. He is a, let me just get his actual, ages and stuff here. So yeah, he's born Jeffrey Woods. He's the titular main protagonist turned to the main protagonist turned antagonist of the 2011 and 2015 revamped creepypasta story of the same name, Jeff the Killer, and Jeff the Killer 2015. They don't give an age, but he was 13 years old when he moved to a neighborhood. Ultimately, Jeff suffered an accident, which basically, where he was set on fire, and he became disfigured while fighting a gang of bullies and lost his sanity after witnessing his new and beautiful face. In essence, he's kind of like a bit of a Joker scenario. He is claimed to be supernaturally enhanced. And this may be due to the fact that there are many different ways in which fan content portrays Jeff the Killer and Slenderman in relation to each other. Most fan works depict Slenderman as immortal enemies on par with Jeff, showing off one another's skills. Depiction as Jeff typically show him going into combat with Slenderman using his knives, while Slenderman is typically shown using his tentacles. There are some who even depict various fan works that depict Jeff as Killer as one of Slenderman's proxies, often painting Jeff's image as some kind of super proxy that was discovered by Slenderman shortly after murdering his family and escaping into the forest. However, many fans do not exactly approve of this particular fan work. The problem, anytime I go into creepypasta lore, the only one I can usually do without any real issue is Slenderman himself. But the problem when going into creepypasta lore is very much that it's all fan-made, and people keep changing more. It's a little like the SCP Foundation, but the SCP Foundation seems to have a more stable history and lore most of the time, especially when it comes to the SCPs themselves. Creepypasta just keeps changing up, and people adapting and interpreting things. So saying he has supernatural abilities it's hard to say whether or not he really does. The best we can say that he has in terms of supernatural abilities is things like incredible supernatural stealth, speed, supernatural strength, which he uses to mercilessly slaughter his victims. He's very durable, being able to overcome his parents and brothers simply by gutting them. I don't know if that counts as durability to the person who wrote that. That's not durability. That's more physical strength and agility and reflexes. Durability would be he takes like 100 shots from a baseball bat and gets back up. That would be durability. That line of sentence right there doesn't really depict durability. One thing that makes him stronger is his intense hatred and bloodlust to keep him going, and as well as giving him great stamina. In recent years, Jeff has been depicted as a charming individual, manipulating and trusting, but only to betray people later. So really, he's just an enhanced human by all accounts, but enhanced nonetheless, which still makes him very dangerous. Which brings us to Ghostface. Ghostface, there is more than one Ghostface. In fact, each movie is a different Ghostface. In fact, a lot of times there's multiple people who are Ghostface. Generally speaking, though, none of the individuals who have portrayed him have been supremely enhanced individual or portrayed him, have taken on the guise of Ghostface, have been supremely enhanced people. They're just regular people who have gone insane and decided to kill people. Now, that being said, they all generally do the same shtick with Ghostface, except when you get into the later movies. This is due to the fact that Ghostface always seems to have his knives on him, or them, or her, whoever's portraying him. How that girl killed Dewey in the fifth movie, I do not know. Lifted him the way she did. I do not buy that it was her in there. But whatever. Spoilers, I haven't watched the fifth movie. It's only now about, 5 years old. How old is that movie? The most recent one came out this year. Was it the previous year or the year prior to that? It's 2 or 3 years old now. But yeah, Jerry has this very imposing looking kind of buck knife. Not even a buck knife, it's just a very large knife. Ghostface generally is also Ghostface will use whatever is available, but Ghostface generally likes to go with the knife. Ghostface, in most recent years, though, has shown wearing body armor, usually wearing a bulletproof vest. This is why Dewey was unable to shoot Ghostface dead, because Ghostface was wearing Kevlar. So there's that. Ghostface also is not opposed to using a firearm when needed if it's available. The Ghostface just doesn't carry a firearm on them. Again, if we're going to composite all of the Ghostface together into like one Ghostface, then yeah, that's what we'd probably have to do here. The question just becomes, are any of the Ghostface actually capable of taking this guy on? So Jeff would obviously be coming in, probably be being very annoying for Ghostface to be dealing with. Maybe they're after the same person. They come across each other like, huh? And then just swinging knives at each other. Jeff gets out of the way. It's like, and then disappears and starts ghosting Ghostface a little bit. Coming stab, but Kevlar is not 100% knife proof. It is very good at stopping a knife. Vests like that are designed for bullets. They're not designed for knives. The material is just different. They're designed to absorb shock and impact, but a point is something that can bypass that to a certain degree. They will still stop a knife, but it's not the same type of material that would be used for a knife. There isn't really anything called a knife-proof vest, unless you are wearing, as Mythbusters proved, a paper vest, a paper suit of armor, which actually will stop a blade very well. Again, for the most part, that will stop a blade. It will still go through the vest to some degree. So, because of this, Jeff is trying to stab and slice. Slicing isn't going to do anything, by the way, against the vest. I will say that. A slice isn't going to do any of that. It might fray it a bit, but that's it. No, you need to go for like a straight stab. So, Ghostface he's getting poked, and he's getting like minor stabs, but nothing that's really going to hurt or kill him. No lethality. So Ghostface basically just has to wait until Jeff comes in again. Maybe just to grab him, stab him in the chest. This time Ghostface grabs him, puts him against the wall, and just kind of starts trying to go for his head. Whereas Jeff's like, it's like nope. It's like nope. And then Ghostface just and maybe just fakes out, just gets him in the eye, and just throws him off. And Ghostface just throws him off, where Jeff finally gets one, like maybe like in his shoulder, which the vest wouldn't be there. So it's like, not an immediate lethal blow, but if I'm assuming like an artery isn't nicked or anything, but a knife wound there, that's not good. You can survive that, but you will need medical attention. And and luckily he's got enough padding on there that he's probably not going to be bleeding out immediately. But Ghostface just got a blade in his eye, and just comes in, and now they kind of clash, kind of like almost like the jousting, as they call it, just kind of clashing with each other. Unfortunately, from a physical standpoint, even the strongest versions of Ghostface, I think Jeff probably does outmatch Ghostface physically. So while it's an initial confrontation, Ghostface is punching him, trying to cut him up. Same with Jeff. Jeff ultimately tries to put the blade through his eye, hits the mask. The masks, by the by, have gone from rubbery to, I think, durable enough to take some hits. Because I think it all depends on if they've lined the mask with metal or something. But let's say the mask does get punctured. It gets revealed to be the composited Ghostface we have here. And comes in again, just starts hitting Jeff over with whatever he can get, like a stool, a little shelving, whatever he can. Tries to get again, and then basically they kind of just both go into each other, and you get that pause when I was like, okay, who stabbed who? It's revealed they both stabbed each other. The only problem is, again, Ghostface has the body armor to protect him from a serious blow, whereas Jeff doesn't. And Ghostface just rips it up, and Jeff's like, and just starts kind of swinging, but he's been gutted. I mean, he's like that. So he is just, he's just kind of falling, okay. And then Ghostface, who's still hurt, just comes in, and just puts it in the back of the neck or head or skull like that, and just ends it. This is really the only reason I'm giving Ghostface the win here. Ghostface, if we're compositing Ghostface, which we would be doing, has body armor on. at least from what we've seen, the later versions of this character do wear body armor for at least firearms. And those, again, like I said, they're not 100% good against knives or stabbing weapons. Cutting, yes. Stabbing, no. But they will stop it enough that it's not going to be lethal wounds. Ghostface would not be making it out of this fight, though, without injury. Like I said, he'd pretty much be kind of like be pinned and needled a little bit. But he'd also probably have a pretty serious wound on his right around his shoulder area, so he would need medical attention on that. But I think really what gives, and we've seen stronger enough depictions of Ghostface where I'm like, okay, how strong is this person? Again, how that girl was able to lift Dewey, a full-grown man, and it was only like a girl in her teens. I do not buy she was able to do that, but apparently she worked out. And that's basically it, where these characters, while not superhuman, do seem to be a little stronger than the average person. And again, I really just bring it down to that body armor is going to protect Ghostface a hell of a lot in this fight, which is what's going to be able to help the fight get drawn out long enough for him, I think, to take the win. Because Jeff, for all of his capabilities, being burned alive, he's quiet and fairly antisocial. Not that people actually knew him. But Jeff is, driven by hatred. He's more willing to use any weapon in his plays. He's extremely stealthy, mischievous individual, able to break into victims' houses almost without getting himself caught. But point being, he's not. He becomes torturous, aggressive, bloodthirsty, and violent, making him one of the most dangerous serial killers in his hometown. He's not a stable individual by any stretch of the means. Neither is Ghostface, but comparatively, Ghostface is a much more stable individual. He's more of a realistic serial killer, while this guy is just completely insane. And so, I think Ghostface would take it, but it would be a difficult win. And there are definitely scenarios where Jeff would win, and just maybe, instead of, bringing the knife down there, he just puts it through the Ghostface neck, and that'd be the end of Ghostface. But I think Jeff, being someone who probably doesn't think things through necessarily all the time, being a bit more primal in the way he goes about it, yeah, he's very intelligent in his own right, but because he's driven by more just hostility and aggression than, say, Ghostface is, he would probably just be going for like the downward stab as opposed to the think it through and just stab. Plus, he seems to enjoy tormenting people, so that would also play a factor in how he's fighting. Either way, I think I'd go Ghostface, but I will not argue hard. I wouldn't really put up any strong argument against someone who thinks it's actually Jeff. Let me know in the comments below what you think. Until then, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll see you folks next time.